Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching The 13th Warrior by John McTiernan, starring Antonio Banderas. As you guys already know, I've watched quite a few McTiernan movies over the years, including two on the channel, The Hunt for Red October and Predator. Both were excellent, and I feel like McTiernan is a very tension or action-oriented director. I've heard of his recent troubles. I wish he kept making movies, but that's too bad, I guess. This movie, The 13th Warrior, is one I've never heard of till it was recommended by some of my patrons. I've been told it's a historical fiction movie based on a book by Michael Crichton. Although I've never read any of Crichton's books, I know that he was a very, very, very famous author. On the other hand, I'm a big fan of Banderas' work, and I've recently watched The Mask of Zorro on the channel. Please check it out when you have the time. I'll leave a link up there somewhere. I don't know what to expect from this movie, apart from the Arab world meeting the Norse or Viking world, or something along those lines. That actually sounds like a pretty interesting premise, so I'm pretty excited to get into it. But before we do, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reviews and reactions to this movie and over 210 movies, 2 TV shows, early access, and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along. The link's in the description below. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for its notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, feel free to dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. The 13th Warrior, McTiernan, Banderas. Let's go. John McTiernan film. Antonio Banderas. The 13th Warrior.
I am Ahmed ibn Fahlan, ibn al-Abbas, ibn Rashid, ibn Hamad.
That's a lot of Ibns. Doesn't Ibn mean son of?
At one time, I was a poet. Life was easy. Until one fateful day, I met a beautiful woman who belonged to another man.
Yeah, a story as old as time.
Her jealous husband complained to the Caliph. I was banished from my home and from all that I knew. So I journeyed by camelback many months.
Oh, he was in Baghdad.
Into the lands of murderous bandits called Tartars.
Oh, Tartars. I know about Tartars from Age of Empires 2.
The Tartars are coming! The Tartars!
Wow. Just judging by the first 3 minutes, I can already tell it's a pretty expensive production.
Noster Rex Tabernaculo. He says their king is out there in that tent. No look wait. Because he's dead.
Oh, it's a funeral party. Jeez, he is just split apart.
Now that there was a new king, the Northmen prepare for the funeral of their old king.
She will travel with him. You will not see this again. It is the old way.
I think that girl, she had to sacrifice herself. And I only know that because I've recently seen The Northman, which came out, I think, last year, was it? Or this year? Where they also sacrifice some innocent girl when one of their kings dies.
The boy is letting them see him.
He's in plain sight.
They do not know if what they see is real. Apparently, they find dangerous things, spirits in the mist. The boy was being polite.
I mean, I know this is historical fiction, but I wonder whether we'll see supernatural elements in the movie or not. That's pretty disgusting. The look on his face is priceless.
He's a messenger. He comes from their homeland in the north with a message for Bolvar. His father's kingdom is under attack. A terror that must not be named.
Huh. Voldemort? Sorry. Unlike a lot of movies where the director takes a lot of time to introduce the characters, it's been 10 minutes and so much has already happened.
He calls for the bones. She's an oracle. So now number of months in their year. She says 13 men must go.
And he's the 13th warrior? How apt. They're all looking at him?
She says the 13th man must be no Northman.
Was that on purpose?
The hell are you saying?
You gotta go, my friend. I'm sure he'll be reluctant.
He thinks your horse is too small.
Arabian horses, they're small but they're fast.
Ahmed ibn Fahlan. Ibn means son of.
Right, I knew it. Ibn does mean son of. The worst part is that his translator is not with him. My guess is that initially they'll be at odds and then somehow Ahmed, he'll prove himself and they'll become friends. Wow. So he's slowly learning the language just by listening and being perceptive. Nice. He's an intelligent person.
Looks like that one's mother.
My mother
He's actually speaking their language now.
was a pure woman from
They're probably freaking out.
a noble family.
Where did you learn our language?
I listened.
Well, that's a little bit of respect right there. That was a very good scene. The auditory transition in particular.
You can draw sounds.
You mean right?
I can draw sounds. There is only one God. And Muhammad is his prophet.
A tenet of Islam.
Only an Arab would bring...
A dog to war? I heard this the first time.
Jeez. How'd they do that?
The dog can jump.
That looks a little less convincing.
Shouldn't we stay closer to land? Oh boy!
Odin!
Odin.
Prophet.
He's learning to write too.
You'll need this.
I cannot lift this.
Grow stronger.
I don't think he can go stronger overnight. Wow, it's a beautiful place. I think the location scouting so far has been very good.
No wall, no moat, not even a presentable fence.
Women, children, barely a man between 15 and 50.
I like the set. Also, the costuming work in this movie has been top-notch too.
What troubles this place, old man?
Has anyone seen one in 100 years?
Yeah!
They say they used to be all over this countryside.
A child!
Speak to me, boy! Who did this? Speak to me!
Find someone who knows him.
Oh man, he's all bloody.
It's a farmstead just up the glen. I will take you.
So nobody wants to name whoever's been attacking this village. That leads me to think that at least they believe it's some sort of supernatural entity or some monster or something. And we know that McTiernan can shoot movies in the woods. He did make Predator after all. No, they did not find what they were looking for. Oh. Dude. I think the director is alluding to some sort of supernatural creature, but my guess it's probably some neighboring tribe or something.
It is said they eat the dead.
What kind of a man could do that?
It was not man. It's the Wendell.
The Wendell. We finally get a name. And coming to think of it, I have seen The Northman recently, like I said, and that film also has Northmen going into some sort of trance, thinking they're animals. I'm guessing it's something like that. They think they're wolves or bears or something.
The trail!
Dives in the rocks, 2 miles up.
So they are clever.
And there's more.
Yeah, and they're being watched.
Will they come to us?
The farmers say they come with a mist.
So, if there's a fog, they will come.
With a drink upon them. You do not drink tonight?
No, we don't drink tonight.
Yeah, they rather keep alert.
You'll need some amazing luck.
I thank the Lord for his advice, though I don't recall hearing any exploits of his, apart from killing his brothers.
Ooh, that's a big insult.
Teeth like a lion, head like a bear, claws that could tear a plank to kindling. They come in the night, in the mist, spitting fire at us as it came.
It will be fog.
They better prepare then.
Should they pass us, then you knew us must stop them.
How can you sleep at a time like this?
Your fate is fixed. Fear profits man nothing.
I mean, nobody's awake watching. Somebody should be out guarding, right? Or are they intentionally doing this to draw them out? I think that's the case.
I am not a warrior. Very soon, you will be.
I mean, you are the 13th. You were chosen. Prophesied. And they're here. Yeah, I like how McTiernan is not showing them clearly, trying to keep the mystery alive, but they're clearly humans. I will admit it's a little hard to follow the action here, and I think that's intentional again.
Well, he didn't run.
This one of the claws.
Let's go, little brother.
I like how they call him Little Brother. And the movie does look like it's an expensive production. And that leads me to wonder why I've never heard of it. Looks like he hasn't grown stronger.
He insisted.
Even out of a sword, he makes a knife.
He works.
Yep, he certainly knows how to use Arab swords.
When you die, you cannot give that to me daughter.
That was funny.
The peasants fear you will bring the fireworm down on us.
The what?
The fireworm.
The fire serpent, whatever that is.
He poisons the king's heir. Says your Boulevard plans to take his kingdom. Is there truth in this?
I mean, how would he know, bro?
The redhead? I'll do it.
Watch where you throw that.
Well, purposefully trying to start a fight.
You're a fool, little man.
That is because, boy, you notice he's bigger than you.
Bet on him if you like.
I may!
That man's twice his size. I don't think they can stop it. It's the law of the land. Jeez. I don't think he has any shields left. Okay. He literally beheaded him just like that.
You could have killed him at will.
Any fool can calculate strength. That one has been doing it for the moment they saw us.
It's going to rain.
Sir, 3 miles up, there's a cliff. Tide's right. Waves make thunder. The worm. They've roused the fireworm.
Serpent of fire.
Breathing fire.
Wow.
What's that?
Holy crap, they're outnumbered. There were 13 warriors, and I think 2 or 3 of them died already. Wow. Yeah, one of the issues I have with the movie so far is the story feels a little disjointed. Beautiful imagery here. I mean, how did he plan to survive this? Oh.
It's a man.
Well, yeah.
It's a man.
Interesting. He's repeating the fact that it's a man, which kind of humanizes them in a sense that it's just a man. They're mortals. That's what he means. And knowing they're just people, he's fighting better now, Ahmed. Yeah, although the fight choreography is very decent, it's a little hard to follow. Yeah, the lighting in this scene is fantastic. The red hues, they look very natural. Must have been difficult to achieve. I wonder what cameras they were using. Wow. Looks like the entire village is burning. So much pyrotechnics.
I cannot.
Right.
Taste neither the fermentation of grape.
Can't drink alcohol.
What?
Why do you laugh?
Honey!
It looks like the mating of a man and some beast.
It's a man.
Find the root. Strike the will.
How?
Go to their lair.
This is the mother of the well. She they revere.
Oh, there's a matriarch.
She is the will. Beware the leader of their warriors. He wears the horns of power.
Well, the odds are against them. They're vastly outnumbered, preparing for a counterattack.
They think they are bears. How do you hunt a bear in winter?
Go in his cave with spears.
Where is a cave?
It's in the earth.
Wow, okay. That's where they're hiding, inside caves. They don't have a traditional encampment. Wow, I like the makeup work. Damn, probably human sacrifices.
These are not men.
If we cut our way through them, we will have the other lot on us.
Yep, they can't draw any attention. It will create too much noise. Although the cinematography looks beautiful, lit with natural light, it makes the characters' faces hard to see and the story a little hard to follow. Maybe that's a little too much style over substance. Holy crap, it's the heads of their fallen brothers. This place must be rife with disease. Is that her? Alright, she's dead. That wasn't as hard as I thought. But he got injured though.
It is done.
It is.
Hey! There's a passage leading down.
Oh, of course there is. An easy exit.
I've run about as far as I care to.
Oh, man.
Today was a good day.
He's going to sacrifice himself.
Stream disappears under the rocks.
We fight by twos. Give the other pair a chance to rest.
Dude, Bullwife just had a scratch on him, right? Or was it a proper flesh wound?
Surf. Out there.
Can we swim it?
Try it.
Good for them. Looks like they're down to 5 now.
You wearing that long face for me.
Now I'm thinking whether that claw was poisoned or not.
You will be buried as a king.
A man might. it thought wealthy if someone were to draw the story of his deeds.
Guess who knows how to read and write?
Such a man might be thought wealthy, indeed.
But what a thought, right? Only wealthy men got their stories written down.
The Wendell want vengeance for killing their mother. It will come soon.
Again? I don't think tonight there will be...
They're here already? Will we finally get to see a battle during the day? Actually see some of their faces? That'd be a good change of pace. Because all the battles so far, they've been during nighttime or with natural light. Good time for a prayer?
When the time comes, don't let them be taken.
He's not gonna survive. Oh man, it's their leader with the horns.
In the halls of Valhalla,
where the brave
may live
forever.
Everybody's fighting. I mean, they have no choice. The villagers, I mean. Bullwife, he's actually going for the leader? He's dead. Again, much easier than I thought it would be. And they're literally running off because their leader's dead. A little anticlimactic, but good for them. But he's sitting like a king on his throne in his final moments as we hear triumphant music. And just like his father, now he's getting a king's funeral to the gates of Valhalla.
We shall make prayers for your safe passage.
Prayers to who?
In your land, one god is perhaps enough, but we have need of many. I will pray to all of them for you. Goodbye, Arab!
Goodbye, Northman. Across seas of monsters and forests of demons we traveled.
Yeah, he's writing the entire story. And it's over. That was a pretty good movie. It wasn't perfect. Had its issues, which we're going to talk about, but fairly entertaining, I'd say. Thank you for the recommendation. I like watching movies which aren't always the, most famous or critically acclaimed. And this was certainly very different to the usual films I watch on the channel. Okay, I took just a little time to collect my thoughts. First off, that was a pretty good movie, but not amazing by any means. The best aspects were from the production end, including the sets, the costumes, the setting, the locations, the fight choreography, and the cinematography. Even Antonio Banderas' performance was pretty decent. I had no complaints there. The issues I had were mostly with the story itself, more particularly how the plot didn't flow as smoothly, and it did feel disjointed at times. Maybe it's down to the editing, we'll talk about that soon, but for now, this wasn't the best McTiernan directed film I've seen so far. Anyways, let's start with the script by William Wisher Jr. and Warren Lewis, and the directing by John McTiernan. I know it was based on a book by Michael Crichton, and I don't know how accurately it was adapted for screen, so my review is just based on what we saw. The story here was pretty straightforward. I don't believe there were any major twists or turns anywhere. Basically, a Baghdadi poet gets exiled and recruited by Vikings to defend a village from the Wendell, a mythical bear-inspired tribe. Along the way, he makes friends, overcomes adversity, and helps in warding off the Wendell. That was the gist of the story, but I thought the execution of the plot wasn't the best. I did find it hard to follow at times, and I've narrowed it down to 3 issues. It was the editing, the lighting, and the flow of the narrative. The editing felt choppy at times, and scenes did not transition as well as they probably could have. And that affected the flow of the story. For example, way too many things happen in the first 15 minutes. Ahmed looks at another woman, gets exiled, meets the Vikings, and he joins their quest, all in 15 minutes. I thought it happened too fast. And the writers, they crammed too much character work and it made it difficult in relating to them, if that makes any sense. One solution would be to increase the runtime. It was only, what, 1 hour, 35 minutes or so? Make it a 2-hour movie. You have the budget. Explore the characters a little more. Another issue I had was with the lighting. Don't get me wrong, the lighting work was amazing looking, especially the darker shots. They were done with natural light, with the fire. It looked brilliant. But the downside here is the fact that the film was even more harder to follow because I couldn't follow characters very easily. My eyes were going all over the place trying to get the story. The action choreography was great, and I really wish I could see more of it, just not darkness. Again, it looked really good, but it was hard to follow. The ending itself, it also felt a little anticlimactic. The way the Wendell leader was just killed, it was probably realistic, suddenly killed in battle. I think that's what McTiernan was going for, but I have to admit it wasn't as dramatic or drawn out as I expected. I expected a showdown of sorts between the leaders. Anyway, I digress. One final thing was the Wendell tribe. They weren't given any sort of personality. I thought they were fairly one-dimensional. They were shown as beasts. I don't know. I wish we got to see a little more of their culture and things from their point of view, their thought process or motivations. I think that would have given the story a little more depth, especially considering I found their culture very fascinating at a first glance. I'll definitely be looking it up later. Okay, let's talk a little about the positives now. I thought the visuals were just beautiful. The variety of locations visited, I was amazing. From the deserts of Arabia to the plains of Eastern Europe to the snow and finally the caves and the rivers. Beautiful. Whoever did the location scouting for the film deserves some sort of commendation, and so does the cinematography here, because again, the film looked gorgeous. It would have been even better if the cinematography and the story were better intertwined, if that makes any sense. The performances, although from the entire cast, they were pretty good, so no complaints in that department. And Antonio Banderas was a standout, like literally. He was so different from the rest of the cast. I didn't recognize any of the other actors apart from Omar Sharif, but his role was so small. He was in the first 10 minutes or so. I don't think it's worth really mentioning. Do let me know of your favorite Omar Sharif movie. I'd love to review one, as I've never seen a film starring him, and I know he was an insanely famous actor. Finally, the other aspects of production, they were excellent. Certainly the highlight of the film for me, from the beautifully made sets to the costumes and the amazing pyrotechnic work. When the village was burning in the third act, it looked very real with the reds and the darkness in the background. The sets, they were so well built, they were elaborate. I mean, they built an entire village before burning it down. Very cool. And the costuming work, I've seen more modern Viking movies like The Northman, and they did a fantastic job with that too. I thought, again, the Wendell, I really wish they explored them more, because their culture, their outfits, their tattoos, they were all so fascinating. I'd say great work in the production end, but average in the storytelling department. As I've talked about my criticisms extensively here, overall, The 13th Warrior was a fairly entertaining movie, although it was neither John McTiernan's or Antonio Banderas' best work. It was fun to watch. These two totally different worlds collide, the Arabs and the Vikings. The premise was interesting, but the execution of the story was okay at best, and that was mostly due to the editing and the flow of the narrative. The highlight of the movie was easily the production end, which looked amazing, especially the cinematography, choreography, sets, costumes, and locations. These aspects of the film redeem it quite a bit, and I do recommend it if you have the time. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a patron. Subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video. Feel free to dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.